Hey guys, Jonathan here, and I just got back from seeing Venom: The Last Dance at an early screening here in Nashville. Now, this movie is interesting, right? Of course, it's our third Venom film. The press has come out. Tom Hardy said it's the final Venom film for sure, but he is open to playing Venom slash Eddie Brock in future installments, so that kind of tells you right off the bat that the door could be open for more Venom down the line, in some iteration or another. Now, before I get into spoilers, I'll just give a very brief overview of my thoughts on the movie. My thought is this. If you saw the announcement for Venom: The Last Dance and thought, oh, heck yeah, I've got to see that, you're going to be good, you're going to enjoy the movie. If you saw the announcement and thought, yeah, I'm a Marvel fan, I'll check that out, I'm going to be honest, you'll probably like it as well. If you have no interest in this movie, I would tell you to just skip it. It's not significantly better or worse than either of the other two Venom movies. I think some people are going to like this a lot more than them. I think some people are going to say it's the worst of the three. I think that all three movies, generally speaking, are pretty equal. Personally, I would rank them Carnage, Venom 1, and then this one, but like I said, in my book, they're all just about equal. Tom Hardy gives a really great performance. I really think that the cast here, for the most part, does pretty well. There is some stiff and wooden acting, and not speaking of the acting, but the script itself has some pretty cringe, laughable moments. Just a lot of moments that make you go, okay, but to be fair, that's kind of par for the course with all of these Venom movies so far. So I'm going to go ahead and cap the non-spoilers part there. Basically, I've said all I can say without getting into spoilers, so now we are talking spoilers for Venom: The Last Dance. Knull is obviously, come out in marketing here as a big part of this movie, and he's barely in it, really. I would say him having 2 or 3 minutes of screen time would be gracious, and for most of it, his head is hung and his hair is there. It's basically just in that mid-credit scene that we see his face and all of that. If you're going into this movie hoping for epic Knull moments, they are not here. The movie opens with an introduction to Knull and his lore and everything, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think the CGI here is really strong too. There are some moments that, it's a little iffy, but for the most part, I actually thought the CGI was on par with the other two, if not the best of the three, in that regard. But yeah, I don't know. It's just okay. It's not great. It's not crazy good, bad. It's just fine. I'd say it's just a fun way to get to the theater and turn your brain off for a little while and just enjoy some dumb symbiotic action. Speaking of symbiotes, there are tons of them in this movie. I don't actually know off the top of my head if any of them are like iconic symbiotes because none of them really have any significant talking lines. They're basically just kind of fodder to fight off those big, void alien. They look like the Acklay from Episode 2, actually, of Star Wars. But it's just a big dumb action movie, really, with aliens and alien lore behind it. It's not great, it's not terrible, it just is what it is. I'm gonna get his name pronunciation wrong, but Ethan Rise, I hope Ethan Rise, I'm not exactly sure. Ethan Rees, again, I don't know, but he's the actor that played Lizard in Amazing Spider-Man, as well as Lizard in No Way Home, which is pretty cool. But he's in this as kind of like a hippie dad, and the family is driving to Area 51 to try and see some aliens before it's decommissioned. He's kind of a fun side character, but the casting is odd. I mean, he does a good job. It's just, of all the actors to play him, did they cast him because he was Lizard and, like, it might make us think some multiversal craziness is going on? I don't know. Speaking of multiversal craziness, I don't really see how this can or will attach to the MCU. Venom, the symbiote itself, kind of sacrifices itself at the end of the movie, so Eddie survives, but the symbiote does not, which according to the lore of the movie, that would destroy the Codex, which is what keeps Knull from being able to escape the Void, so I don't know how Knull will escape based off of the lore that the movie sets up itself, and because Knull isn't escaping, well, on paper, I'm not exactly sure how that'll connect to anything in the MCU or beyond, but they do set up how he exists beyond the Venom universe, so, could he be a villain for the Spider-Verse someday? I really don't know. Now, let's talk about the lore of the Codex. Just a very quick overview. The Venom symbiote explains that when he saved Eddie's life, it created a Codex inside of them that Knull basically needs to obtain for himself to be able to escape from the Void, where he's been locked up by his own creations, the symbiotes. So that's kind of interesting in its own right, but and I may have misinterpreted this, I don't know. I just saw the movie one time. Maybe it's explained better if I see it like 2 or 3 more times, I don't know. But the way it's explained in the movie that I picked it up is that the Codex exists because Venom saved Eddie's life. So, to me, that seems really weird that in the entire multiverse, a symbiote has only saved its host and created a Codex one time, and that happens to be the Venom universe. I mean, I suppose it's possible, but just, the infinite probabilities and realities of that being the case are pretty slim. That's one of the shortcomings of the multiverse, is it's just so easy to have it happen one time to our main characters and it never happened anywhere else. I don't know. I generally do like this multiverse stuff and seeing characters cross over and references. Generally speaking, I've enjoyed it across the board for the most part. But that being said, it does make it very easy to poke holes in the lore and everything of that nature. So I'm definitely interested to see how they're going to tie Knull back in. I feel like it's going to go there, but tough to say. As of the recording of this video, though, we're not exactly sure what the exact plot of Spider-Man 4 is going to be. Tom Holland has talked about really enjoying the script. He and Zendaya read it recently and said, that he's jumping up and down with excitement for what could come. So I'm certainly excited by that. A lot of the rumors that we'd heard about Spider-Man 4 were actually more along the lines of like a street-level movie, possibly against Kingpin and or Scorpion. Personally, that's what I want to see. But when you look at the MCU timeline and when that movie's coming out, basically between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, it really doesn't make sense for that to be a straight-level movie anymore. So my thought is that Tom Holland Spider-Man will get the symbiote in Doomsday and or Spider-Man 4. And that'll play out through Secret Wars. Then maybe after Secret Wars, we get like a straight-level Spider-Man movie where he has the symbiote suit still, and maybe he has to team up with like Daredevil, and Daredevil like kind of helps talk some sense into him as the symbiote is corrupting him slowly. Tough to say. I don't really know, but it is fascinating to see where all of this could go. There is that little bit of symbiote, shedding, as the movie here puts it, that would be there from the post-credit scene of No Way Home. So I suppose anything's possible. But, oh my gosh, I just connected something. You saw it happen here live on camera. What if the symbiote saves Peter Parker's life and that creates a new codex for Knull to attack the MCU? I could see that happening. Now that I say that, I could actually see that happening. See, that's the beautiful thing of just sitting down in front of a camera and talking about a movie. You might just come up with a great theory. So yeah, I'm interested to see if maybe that's the route they're going to go, but really not a ton more to say about the movie. It's not great. It's not terrible. If you were thinking about seeing Venom, I think you're going to enjoy it. If you hated the other 2 Venom movies, you're going to hate this one. And if you're somewhere in the middle and just want to see a Marvel movie right now, I definitely would recommend it. It's not MCU tier, but it's right on par with the other 2 Venoms. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the movie. Let me know your thoughts on it, and I'll see you guys on the next video.